Hello friends, in our lecture of business communication, today we would be discussing types of interview. Now before we discuss any type of interview, we need to first understand what is interview. Interview can be understood as face-to-face interaction between two or more persons for understanding the views of each other. It's very important, very essential that whenever we are going to develop employer-employee relationship, we should know each other. So interview is understanding the views. Alternatively, interview is a conversation with a person which aims at getting responses of the candidate or from the candidate. Now, the interviews existing are broadly divided into various types. Let us study them one by one. The very first type of interview what we have is selection interview. See, every organization aims in getting right person for right job. So to get that employee, we have selection interview. It is an interview which aims at selecting right person for right job. In this interview, the interviewer and interviewee will have interaction face to face. They will have interaction face to face and they will evaluate, they will find out who will be able to do the best possible job. The other type of interview what we have is assessment or appraisal interview. See, every employee is allotted some work to be done, and based upon his work performance, he would be given increment as well as promotions in an organization. So assessment interview will aim to review the performance of the employee. This interview have two objects. First, to improve the job performance of the employee. Employee, are they performing better or not? उसको improve करना है. And secondly, improving communication between whom? Between the superior, or we can say top level, and subordinates, lower level of management. Another type of interview we have is grievance interview. Grievance interview can be understood as the interview which will deal with complaints. See, every employee may have some or the other complaint. The complaint may be with respect to the monetary benefits what they are getting or non-monetary benefits. That is, the complaint may be related to salaries and wages, or it may be related to the working condition. So this interview aims seeking clarification which is for the problem which is witnessed by the employees. The next type of interview we have is under stress interview. In modern competitive world, there is huge stress, huge competition. This brings stress. And if the employee may not be able to overcome the stress, it would be difficult for him to survive. Thus, this interview is undertaken to test the mental ability as well as the physical ability of the employee in the worst possible situation. Then the next type of interview we have is promotion interview. The employee needs to be promoted. If he is not given an opportunity to develop career within the organization, he will leave the organization and join some rival company, which in long run can be dangerous to us. So promotion interview is undertaken in order to understand the abilities and attitude of a person, whether he is fit to get promoted or not, whether he can accept the responsibilities of the organization or not. Then medical or clinical interview. Remember, such type of interview is part and parcel of the process of recruitment and selection. Whenever a person is appointed for the job, he is selected for a new position in an organization, we need to understand his physical fitness, and for that medical or clinical interviews are undertaken. Reprimand or punishment interview. See, it's not always necessary that har ek employee will do the work which is allotted to them. Some may do, some may not do. So this type of interview is undertaken for scolding, or we can say punishing the subordinates who do not obey the instructions, and they may not perform up to the mark. They are not performing their duties properly. Last type of interview we have is exit interview. Such interview is undertaken for the person who is leaving the job and going away. Remember, the objective of this organization is not to retain the employee, but the objective of this organization is to know the reason why the employee is leaving. Not only knowing the reason, but also clearing the misunderstanding, if any, between the employer and employee. So these are the types of interview. The other aspects of interview and other things we will discuss in our next lecture. Thank you so much.